Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Douglas, Senior Charitable Giving Advisor at the Community Foundation of Greater Des Moines. And today I have the pleasure of sitting with Matt Roberts, who is the Chief Planning Officer at Severson Strage here in West Des Moines. Thanks for joining me, Matt.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ryan.
Yeah. So for today's edition of Advisor Chats, really wanted to hone in on complex gifts and specifically privately held business shares, such as S Corp, privately held C Corp, LLCs, partnerships, those types of things. Really something that I'm passionate about given the nature of small business ownership in Iowa and the great wealth transfer. So I thought it was a perfect topic for you and I to chat with, given your expertise and experience with this topic.
Yeah, no, it's something that energizes me. I always love working with business owner clients.
Great. So to get things started, just wanted to ask, when you are meeting with these type of clients, what are some of the questions they're asking, or maybe what are some of their top concerns when they're thinking about that?
Yeah, our business owner clients often are concerned about taking care of something that's so precious to them. They've put their time, money, and energy into something that's so meaningful to them, to their family, and their community. So they want to make sure that they're protecting what they've built. So a lot of the conversations we have center around how do we protect this? Because they feel that if they don't do some planning, they could pay some taxes that wouldn't have been due otherwise. They may not have a great succession plan in place, and they may not have the cash flow in place, especially as they near retirement. A lot of conversations around that.
Good. So tell me a little bit about when it comes to the planning discussions, what are give me the different channels that you're talking about. What are the options? What topics are coming up in that vein?
Well, a lot of the topics, as you may suspect, are related to taxes and what are the tax consequences if I sell my business? Will there be any estate or gift taxes due if I transfer this to the next generation? So those are the types of questions that are coming up, and it could be a donor advised fund that plays a role in some of these conversations, or it could be a more advanced topic like a charitable remainder trust. It really just depends on the complexity of their situation, what they're trying to accomplish, and whether they can handle that kind of complexity in their life.
Yeah. And I'm glad that you brought up some different giving vehicles. Donor advised funds, very common to the audience that watches this. Charitable remainder trusts, I think there's more and more knowledge throughout the years on that. A little bit more of an advanced tool, but can be such a great planning tool for a lot of clients to keep that cash flow coming or for other planning needs.
Yeah, absolutely. A charitable remainder trust sounds complicated, but it's a great way to provide income because they're worried about cash flow. I can't give it all away, so how do I retain that right to cash flow once I enter retirement? And then also there's great tax benefits with avoidance of some of the capital gains initially, and also a charitable deduction when you put money into it.
Yeah. And Matt, one other area I just want to talk a little bit about is this idea of pre-funding your charitable pool of money for post-retirement. I think for a lot of people, charitable giving is something they want to continue to do into retirement, and maybe sometimes they forget to plan for that, right? We're pre-funding retirement assets to help support our future, but you could do the same thing with pre-funding some charitable dollars going into retirement. So maybe speak a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And for some of our business owner clients, we talk about something called like a charitable pension plan. And so how do we start preparing, especially in these high tax years where deductions are so valuable? How do we start accumulating kind of a charitable retirement account that when we get into some lower tax years, after maybe we've sold our business, we enter retirement, we can start giving those dollars away, and we don't feel so tight with our dollars because they've already been pre-funded and it's just part of the planning we've already done.
Great. So Matt, as we close here, any other thoughts for the professional advisor community or donors that might be watching this video?
Well, I think that it is so important to make sure that you have a collaborative team around you that can help you through these really important times. And so if you're going to have a liquidity event or a transfer to the next generation, it's really important that you have a professional team, including your financial planner, estate attorney, CPA, and even a giving professional, such as someone from the Community Foundation, to really all be speaking into the situation and making sure that you're getting the best advice from all the professionals in your life.
Yeah, it's such a key piece anytime, especially with a big thing like a business, right? We want to get in front of that on a time horizon point. I'm sure that you love hearing those questions brought to you earlier rather than later, and to be able to properly plan for those. And then again, having the right people at the table. So for our audience today, hopefully some key takeaways, be thinking about that full balance sheet. For the business owners, think about in those planning conversations, if charity is something that's important to you, how can you potentially use some of this privately held business to pre-fund charitable money for the future? And Matt, again, really appreciate you taking some time to talk through some strategies and what we're hearing from your clients. And again, thank you for your expertise.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ryan.
All right. And thank you for everyone who joined us today. And please feel free to reach out to the Community Foundation if we can help support you and your clients. Thank you.